You are listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast, a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Empire. It's the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
Riley's in the shotgun, looking downfield, and then throws. It is up in the air to the goal line. Bounces. What a catch! What a catch by Duke Williams! Touchdown, Eskimos! Bryant Mitchell! It's going to be intercepted. Arjun Colhoun.
Mike appears to be a CFL encyclopedia.
Welcome back to the Turf District. It's another episode of the Eskimo Empire Podcast, brought to you by United Construction Company. Check out all the great builds they do at unitedconstruction.ca. And of course, check out all of our links on eskempire.ca. All of our social links, blogs, and pics are there for you to check it out and join up with us. My name is Andrew, and to my podcast left is the one and only superfan, Mike.
Hi.
Well
okay,
done.
Ross.
And the giggle in the background. It is the return of the one and only Commissioner Kayla. How are you?
Way better than you guys, apparently.
Apparently.
Some of us haven't been roaming around Europe.
Yeah, exactly. I'd feel better if I was roaming around Europe, I'm sure.
Especially the last week.
Yeah, exactly. How's the jet lag doing? You still awake? You just hanging on?
It's getting better.
Okay.
But, that gin doesn't help.
Oh, it helps.
I mean, it helps, but
this lot.
Cheers.
helps put me to sleep. Helps put me to sleep.
Yeah, well, but it tastes so good.
It does taste very good.
That's right, yeah. Helps out. It also helps when we have the game that we have to talk about this particular week. But before we get to that, highlight of the trip for you. Everyone wants to know what was the thing that kind of stood out for you that was just like, wow, I can't wait to do that again.
That's super unfair.
Well, okay, I'll give you like a
Essay question.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it makes it more fun.
Well, each country had their flaws and their good times.
They can't all be Canada.
They can't all
That's
be Canada.
true, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say a highlight in England was driving there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, on the other side of the road?
Oh
on the
my
other side of the
God.
car?
I've never had a panic attack such as I had in the vehicle trying to drive, everything going backwards. Like, it's so bananas.
I'm sure, yeah, it throws you right off. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So that's not, it's a fond memory now, but at the time I was like crying. So.
Okay. That's fair. Okay.
Romania, we'll just skip.
Okay, fair enough.
skip.
Yeah.
Italy is, I went to Greece. Mm-hmm. And that's just like where I was absolutely gorgeous. It was the Northwest.
Nice.
And it's mostly like a mountainous resort for Greeks.
Oh, okay.
Because not a lot of people knew where I was, which is fine. But yeah, we were like on a mountaintop in a beautiful little boutique hotel. And there's not much like in the village, but it's still gorgeous. And then about a 20-minute drive is just stunning geography.
Really?
It's just like what I think a fairy tale looks like a forest, is what came to be. Like, it was just,
that's awesome.
The water was jade. Mm-hmm. It was still at one point, and then rapids like just 20 yards away. And the trees themselves were covered in ivy leaves. And then on top of the trees were their own leaves. It was full of coniferous trees, and it's just green, and like the ground was layered with yellow leaves from the prior fall, because there's no way that it was from this year. So, and then you had ivy coming out through those leaves on the ground. And it was
I think I saw some of your pictures that
Let's
had
go.
that. And,
it was
amazing.
So peaceful. It was so peaceful. And driving there was
like
so
a
much
dreamland.
fun. It was. It was
Maybe
like
the
a fairyland.
win there. Yeah. Okay.
That is a dream.
Okay.
And it's really cool too, because like goats and cows roam the mountainside, so you hear bells in the distance, and it's so soothing. But they're cowbells, because they're just walking around, and that's how they know where their livestock is.
Yeah.
So it's really, really almost like ancient methods, but it's so. There's no other word than stunning. Like, I actually lose my speech because it's so hard to describe. You have to be there.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a highlight to me.
Yeah.
It's like pictures don't do it justice, and I'm really glad I got to experience it. And then of course, like Italy is Italy, like that's where I study.
Bring on the spaghetti.
Yeah, bring on the food, just anything, just get in my belly, all of it.
Chianti, a little bit of pasta.
Everything. I have pizza. I even had seafood.
Timbit?
And I conquered a fear of eating calamari with the tentacles.
Ooh.
That was
Not quite the same.
it does its part. It does its part.
We don't have Timbits in Italy.
That's very true. Yes, we don't have Timbits in Italy, but
But well, they have other sorts of pastries.
There's no Timbits in Italy.
that's pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Actually, the title might have to be Enchanted Forest.
Yes.
That would be the so sounds wonderful. Well, that just sounds like it was an amazing trip. But of course, we're glad to have you back in the Turf District to chat some football with us.
Yeah.
Speaking
Misery
of
loves
events
company.
and things, Superfan, you joined. You went out to the Extra Life event on the weekend.
Yeah, it was great. Sean Sproul, who has been on the show, and of course, anyone that's been by the tailgate and had some of those amazing cupcakes.
Oh, yes.
His the Empress of the Oven, as we
Yes.
call her.
Yes.
They put on an amazing silent auction for the Stollery Children's Hospital. Raised a bunch of money. Had some great things for Eskimo-related items. They did have that drawn Mike Riley
Yeah.
print.
That was stunning.
That was
by
signed.
Matt.
Yeah, and Matt Sharp had done the piece itself, and it was signed by Riley. And it was won by another friend of the podcast, which is great.
Nice.
So our own Nubian one,
Yeah.
Chad,
Oh,
Yeah.
got
congrats,
to is going to
Chad.
be taking that home. It's beautiful. It was huge.
Yeah.
It was probably 2'4".
Oh,
the
yeah.
frame.
wow.
It was huge. The print itself is 16 by 20.
It's awesome.
And then it was in a framed and matted a print and everything else. And there were so many great things there, lots of video game related things. The whole point is that Sean is also going to be playing video games for 24 hours with the tagline that he's playing for kids that can't.
Right. Yeah.
Which I think is fantastic. And he'll be raising money from that. Some of the things didn't sell, which kind of surprised me. There was a lot of people wandering around putting in their bids, and we did our part.
Sure did, yes.
Came home with
Yeah.
quite a few little items, which we will talk about in a later podcast.
We will,
And,
yes.
Yeah, so like I said, it was a really good time. It's been a really good weekend, actually.
Awesome.
I didn't know that was that last weekend. I thought it was
This was
the
a
weekend.
couple days ago.
Yeah.
I'm
Shoot.
glad you had that on the Saturday. It makes the rest of the weekend feel better.
Well, no, the rest of the weekend was good. I mean,
Yeah.
we went to see Kevin Smith last night.
Yes,
the
nice.
filmmaker and comedian, Silent Bob, for
Yes.
those that have seen the Jay and Silent Bob stuff. He was outstanding. 2.5 hours of stand-up, and he just forgot about all
How
your
many
problems.
Star Wars jokes did he do?
Oh, all of them.
Yeah.
And the one, of course, that didn't surprise anyone is he said, hey, something happened on Wednesday, didn't it?
Yeah.
With the legalization.
Just,
Oh,
yeah, he was
okay,
very
right.
excited about that.
He stayed in Canada because he wanted to be part of this. Then he realized he was in Vancouver, and they're like, dude, it's just Wednesday. So, yeah, like I said, it was a very good weekend. It didn't start out so great on Friday evening, but, to get better, as Coach would say.
Awesome. And as you said that, I do want to give a quick shout out and thank you to BC Lions Den. The boys had me on there last week to set up that game.
It's a good episode.
Always awesome to chat with those guys. And that was when, I even sounded a bit hopeful, I think.
You did. It was before the game.
It was, exactly. So it was good. It was great to I love chatting football with those guys.
Yeah,
so thank
both
you again
great
to them
guys.
for having us on. So, well, let's get into our game. We are back to our losing ways, unfortunately, as we come out with a 42-32 loss to BC.
Yeah.
Now that vaults BC into the playoffs, so congrats to them. And it leaves us with only but a prayer to find our way into the playoffs this particular week. So let's start with the good of this game, because I'm sure there's got to be some. Kayla, did you have any goods from this game?
Yeah, I didn't see it all.
Oh,
That is good.
that's not a bad call, actually. Yeah, okay.
I fell asleep. I couldn't do it.
So did the team.
Yeah, so maybe I should blame myself a little bit. We are connected.
That
Clearly.
must be it. That must be it. Yes. Did you have any other goods that you did see?
Not that I remember.
Fair
Honestly, I don't. That's one of those games. It's the Montreal game. It's put in the back file, and I don't know where it is.
It's gone. All right, fair enough.
That's some good gin.
Jeez, I wish I had your ability. Super fan.
There was some good things. I thought Alex Bazzi had a good game versus an old team. He had a sack. He had the only sack of the game. And I think the defense itself was fairly decent in the first half, and nobody was good in the second half, to be fair. No. But yeah, like I said, he got the only sack in the game. He had 5 tackles. He had some hurries in there as well. Mm-hmm. Other than him, Sean White, I guess, 3 for 3.
Yeah, Sean White. Batman had a good game.
I was shocked that Kayla didn't take that one.
Yeah,
I slept. Remember?
That's
right.
He got
Batman.
Got the TD. Had a couple of good catches.
Over 100 yards.
Yeah, everything that came his way was mostly getting
got me
in his
good
hands.
points in fantasy.
I'm sure he did. And so I want to focus on that because I thought he did quite well.
Yes,
2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Imagine
almost
what
like
could
he's
have
good.
Right? Oh, almost. Yeah.
Can you imagine what would happen if he had played 18 games? 17 to this point? That's right. We need to put that. Yeah, thank you for that. All right, let's get to the part that we have more to talk about this particular week, unfortunately.
Well, it's been a good show. Thanks for listening.
That's great. The what the
fire truckers.
Kayla, did you have anything for this, or you're blocking that part out too?
Oh, they sucked.
All of it.
All of it, yeah. It's just
the first half was good.
Yeah, but that doesn't really matter though, because they still lost and they blew up their own chances. And you know what? If they don't make the playoffs, I'm not going to actually be upset about it because I don't rely on other teams losing for us to advance. If you want to advance and if you want this, you should have won.
That's absolutely a fair point.
So,
Superfan, do you have anything specific you want to?
Oh, so much.
I know.
So much.
I know which one you're going to go with, but I still set you up every time.
Well, that's the problem is every week we talk about, that they should do, maybe get some balance and run the ball.
And the week that they did do that, what happened again?
Oh, I think we won.
What? No.
I know, it's crazy. Well, we won quite well, actually.
Yeah.
Against a pretty solid team in Ottawa.
Are they scared of the BC defense?
No, I don't think that's it at all, because I think Gable was doing fairly well with the run. It's just they went away with it. And then when it was out of reach.
6 carries again.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And some of those were when it was out of reach near the end. It's like, now you're running the ball?
Yeah.
After they've been teeing off. I just thought that was terrible. The offense, again, disappearing in the second half. Yet again, that third quarter was terrible.
Yes.
We end up with a field goal at the end.
Yeah.
Which is another whole conversation,
I'm
which I
ask
have
you
no
about
doubt we'll talk about.
Okay, I totally missed that.
Okay.
Obviously. So by people's tweets, it looked like there was a first down, and he kicked.
It was first on
first and 10
30
inside the 30. Yeah,
and you kick on a first down.
Correct.
So,
but that doesn't even make football sense in any principle.
I'll tell you the justification for it, because I could at that point I could understand it.
I didn't.
I'm not saying it's
How
right.
much time was left?
I'm just saying that I could understand what the thinking was on it. The idea was you take the points when you can, you get the 3 points, and it leaves more time on the clock for you to get the ball back. But to kick the field goal and then not do the onside kick, I don't understand that. Because you have to get the touchdown anyway.
But I think the reason they didn't do it is because they didn't want to give the points. Because if they don't get the onside kick,
right,
then it doesn't matter if the defense isn't going to hold. They're probably going to get a field goal and you're down 2 scores.
But you're still going to get a field goal regardless if you take another shot and go to second down. And if you don't get it, at least you still get a field goal. At least you tried,
though. They burned 30 seconds off the clock.
That's right.
But they haven't proven that they can do anything anyway on either side at that point.
The defense was not doing great in that fourth quarter.
So you're putting your trust into something that didn't.
My biggest problem is
the offense, though, too. They hadn't done anything to that point. So,
right. Well, I mean, we at least got to the 30 at that point. To me, I would have said, go for the 7, because if you get the 7 and then BC comes back and kicks a field goal, you still are only down by 6.
Right.
And now a touchdown, even if it's a Hail Mary because you're really low on time,
right,
you can at least have a chance to win the game. When you do it the way he did it, we had 12 seconds left and down by 10. Nothing can happen.
Nothing can happen.
Yeah.
Now, and I've heard this a couple of times, and I tend to agree with it. I think Moss out-coached himself in that
Again.
particular moment, overthought it instead of just...
And when he overthinks, he kicks a field goal.
Don't we know it?
Yeah.
But even aside from that point, though, I mean, I kind of look at it and go, would it have mattered anyway? Because we got killed again in halftime adjustments. Absolutely killed. And Blake Dermott said it on the post-game show. He actually kind of went off, which is not like him.
He did.
But
he even said, I mean, I get no pleasure.
No, but that was...
Well,
we were embarrassingly outcoached
Again.
in that game.
Yeah.
Embarrassingly outcoached.
It happened many times this year.
It was,
so.
I was going to say, is the nightmare return from, was it August?
Yes.
August in the
Yes.
Lions Den. That was humiliating.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. We had a lead.
It's going to be a fun wrap-up episode this season,
Isn't it? Oh, yeah. I can't wait for that.
Sorry, David Morley.
Yeah, so I think that's the thing. I think the other part of it is that we have to talk about, once again, is the brutal teams. Because the huge kickoff return to Rainey basically changed that entire game.
I saw that.
And you gotta cover, you gotta get him back inside. Why are you letting him go out? I don't understand.
Why is everyone lopsided on one side of the field? You make an open field on the right side. He just zoomed.
All the person there was Hugh.
Hugh O'Neill. I know. He just watched him. Literally, I watched him, and he just like.
I'm not catching him. He was just
which is funny considering that at one point he was a linebacker.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I mean, well, at least just be like,
Tripping with your beard.
I tried.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just like he literally was like,
I haven't seen bad tackling events since Sean Fleming. Okay.
Oh yeah, nicely played.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think those are that was the turning point in the game. Now, I mean, to be fair,
Lots of time left.
Lots of time left, absolutely. But I'd have to give credit. I mean, BC's defense played amazingly.
They've been
They dominated our offensive line.
Been great.
They absolutely dominated our offensive
I would
line.
argue even before then they were starting to show their colors.
They were, but once you got Lemon on that side, then Odell could be free.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that was scary. And I remember saying at the beginning of the season, I'm scared of BC.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason for that because now they believe in themselves, and that is what is truly scary. And to be honest, if the Eskimos are making, I'm totally BC all the way. I want Wally to have a successful outing. Like that is, I would be.
So does the league.
So,
Sorry, I gotta adjust my tinfoil hat.
I was
for a
just going to
second.
say, yeah, we better put that tinfoil hat properly. That's pretty crazy. Well, I don't know that we have anything more that we need to even add to this game. Is that?
You know what? They're going to review the film a bit. They're going to throw it away and just be like, okay, we got a bye week. Let's just prepare for Winnipeg.
Yeah, it's
And
not a happy
prepare
bye
with
week.
what?
That's a fair point.
whatever we did in Ottawa, do that again.
Yeah, do that again. You mean balanced?
Nah, can't be
plays.
that.
No, it can't be that. No. You mean actually get a return?
Yeah, but what happened to the defense
Pre-game
then?
meals.
Oh, pregame. Okay, pregame. That's
So what
fair.
happened to the defense? That has nothing to do with the run game.
Well, I think the defense just ran out of gas. Like,
Oh,
they
it
were
was
doing
just
well.
exhausted because they were always on the field because the offense just.
Whereas in Ottawa, we dominated time of possession.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do think, though, in that third quarter, it was all halftime adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
And we made none, and BC made them all. And so the defense couldn't keep up. Like, DeVere Posey with 3 touchdowns in the third
he
quarter.
was just sick.
And it was just, they were launching at will, and we were blitzing and couldn't get to Lule.
Yeah.
And so it left everybody open downfield, and you can't give Lule
Time
and space like that because he'll always find the open guy.
Where's Jonathan Jennings when you need him?
Yeah. Well, I did say that even last week on BC Lions Den. You give Lule, and the bigger the game, the better Lule plays.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
how
usually
Riley
the case
used
of
to be.
Mike Riley.
Yeah.
But in this particular case, although I think he
And
was
this
hindered
season.
by the play calling.
But yeah, I think the
Yeah.
season, though, has just been tougher for
Yeah.
all of us.
Yeah.
I think Riley had a decent game. You look at the numbers.
Yeah.
No interceptions. We intercepted Lule twice.
Right.
He had 268 yards, I believe. 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Not horrible.
How many
Right.
turnovers were there in total?
Yeah, I don't know.
There was the 3 anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the biggest turnover, of course, being the Nate Behar drop that gave
That
BC
was horrible.
Yeah, that did definitely
early in the game. Yeah. It's been, let's face it, a tough year for Nate. He's had a lot of interceptions off his fingertips, at least 3, if not 4.
Yeah.
He had that fumble. I'm not, saying that, he's the bad guy or anything. I'm just saying it's been a tough year.
Yeah, it absolutely has been. Yeah, for sure. Well, let's get on to our Esks news, which there isn't any because it's bye week. No
news is good news.
So on the very slim hope that next week's game means something, we'll save the what do we do next year talk for next week.
Yes.
Come on, Evil Mitchell, do something right.
But of course, I think it's important that we do have a message for Riley, Kwaku, and Batman. All right, now that we've sent that message to Riley, Kwaku, and Batman, let's take a quick break, and then we will come back with our Pick'em fantasy picks, of course. No Eskimo history this week.
No, not this week. We
All
got to,
right.
leave them wanting more.
That's fair.
Hey, this is Jed Roberts, and you're listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
The Eskimo Empire Podcast is brought to you by United Construction Company. As a full-service commercial general contractor, United Construction Company serves large and small-scale commercial, light industrial, and multifamily residential construction projects across Western Canada. UCC is a relationship-focused builder, forming a trust and respect that is at the forefront of their commitment to quality, value, and integrity. Visit their website at unitedconstruction.ca to find out more and support them as they support the Empire.
Get loud for me. Get loud for me. Get loud for me. Hands in the crowd, we tearing it down.
You can join the Empire online.
Find us at eskempire.ca.
Check out all the new blogs and then follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
For more history, follow at Esks History on Twitter.
And even more of my picks on Esk Empire Photo.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to help the pod grow. Thanks again for listening. Let's get back to the show. Welcome back. It is time for our pick'ems. So the leader after this week, we actually have a new leader.
Ooh.
Vic L has moved into the lead.
Take us to your leader.
Now, less than 40 points separating him and Steve. So it's going to be a crazy race to the end here. And Superfan, you're all the way up to 24th.
Yeah, I went 2-2 this week. We know.
That's better than some of us.
Damn Alberta teams.
Yeah.
Letting me down.
One job, Calgary. One job.
One job, Edmonton.
Well, that too.
Just
I was a little more hopeful, and anyway, whatever. Let's go to the first game this week, which is Calgary. Obviously, the one that really only means anything to us. Calgary versus Winnipeg. This is in Winnipeg. So, who do we got in this game, Commissioner?
Oh, Lord have mercy. On one side of the coin, I honestly want Calgary to lose just because I'm not bitter with the Eskimos, but I want to be like, see what happens when you don't do it yourself.
Take care of business.
Take care of your own stuff. Yeah.
But at the same time, I can't. So, Calgary, can you please do something right for once? I know you hate us and we hate you, but let's join forces
How
for
about
1 week.
Self-preservation for them.
How about that?
No, this is a unified Alberta for the 1 week. Win the damn game. Thank you. Signed off.
All right.
That's
lovely.
a spike.
That is a spike. Superfan?
Yeah, this is Calgary now has a decision to make. Do they want that bye week?
Yep.
Because if they lose, there's a very strong possibility that they may not get it. Now, that's going to be Saskatchewan beating BC.
Right.
Which we're going to get to in a second.
We sure are.
Thank goodness you're talking about it. But this is the first time Calgary's lost back-to-back games since 2012.
Okay.
6, and that's not even including back-to-back home games.
Right.
Just back-to-back games in 6 years it hasn't happened.
Yes.
And we're talking about they've lost both games at home in the last 2. I'm not even sure who's going to show up.
That's fair.
But I got to think that with the team they've got and especially the coaching they've got, they're going to be pulling out all the stops and they'll take this one.
All right. Well,
I have
this
a
whole
theory
season has
when you're
gone
done.
exactly the craptastic way for me, so I picked Winnipeg. Okay. All right.
Wait, I have a theory. Sorry. Just thinking right now. So Calgary has been at the top of the tier for the West for the last 2 years in a row, right?
They've
Right?
most of the last 6 years.
Well,
Anyway,
no,
yes.
I'm just talking about the last 2 years that they made
That's
the Grey
correct,
Cup.
yeah.
So they've won the West.
Correct.
What if that is their what is that saying?
Achilles heel.
But we won the West in 2015.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, but
And
it's
then we
Calgary.
won.
It's not us.
That's
it's Calgary. But what if they don't win the West and then that puts them into the Grey Cup and they win?
Great. Then somebody else can have my ticket to watch that happen. That's fantastic. Yeah.
But if they play Hamilton, holy mazzoli, that'd be super duper.
It won't be
Not them,
Hamilton
but just
right
Hamilton.
now.
Maybe Winnipeg, Hamilton now. That would be interesting
Yeah.
Why?
because neither of them have won in the 21st century.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
No, I'm cool.
All right. Okay. I'm still picking Winnipeg. Okay. Next game is Ottawa and Hamilton. This is of course the back-to-back.
Yes.
This is now back in the donut box in Hamilton.
Yep.
Super fan. Who do you got in this one?
I think that much like in the last game, I thought the home team was going to have the advantage here. Ottawa has basically, for all intents and purposes, locked up first place. Even if Hamilton beats them, they still can get first place by winning the last game of the season.
Right.
Hamilton has to win this game and then, much like us, has to hope for help from somebody
Yes.
else.
Yep.
But in order to have any chance at all, they have to win this game. And it is, as you say, at the donut box, so I'm going to give it to Hamilton.
All right, I 100% agree with you, and that's why I'm picking Ottawa. Okay, because
Thank you, Siri.
every time that I've thought, it just has not gone that way. Yeah, I literally sat there earlier today and said, Siri, heads or tails, heads is one team, and whatever it came up, that's what I picked. So I've got Ottawa this week.
Good for you.
All right,
Yeah.
Kayla?
Pat on the back.
Thanks. It's worked out pretty well for some changing in picks. I might catch you this way. I doubt it. But anyway.
Well, like the rest of the season has gone, I go by my heart and never by my head, which has gotten me into a pickle more than once. However, I cannot
Language. Well.
I cannot go against my holy mazzoli, so of course I am also going with Hamilton because it is in the Hammer.
All right, then. Fair
And
enough.
I'm not a fan of Ottawa. But
Next
Please, Hammer,
game
don't hurt them.
is BC. Please, Hammer, don't. Did you just pull out an MC Hammer reference? Really?
why not?
Stop. Hamilton.
That's wonderful. I hope you put the original in there. Oh, my goodness. That's fantastic. Yeah, that was very good. Okay, next game, BC versus the Riders, and it's in Saskatchewan. As I said, everything has just been picked by Siri, so this week it is the BC Lions continuing their winning streak in Riderville as their defense steps up and Saskatchewan's offense, as they regularly do, disappears the game after they have a good game, so BC wins. Kayla.
Oh, is that because Siri picked or because you believe it? I'm confused now.
I'm really good at selling it, aren't I?
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, Siri picked it, but that's
okay.
that's what I'm coming up with.
What if she had picked Saskatchewan?
If she had picked Saskatchewan, I would say that their defense continues the run they are on and picks off Lule for 2 touchdowns and Saskatchewan wins the game. But
Yeah,
that's not gonna. Yeah, no, that's your pick. All right, I'm going with BC.
Is USC still playing in
USC?
quarterback? Ugly Sidney Crosby.
Oh, ugly Sidney Crosby. Yes, he is still playing. I'm like college ball? Like, what are you talking about? It's completely
I'm like, yeah,
I was hoping
still
that
going.
one would get you. Yeah.
Ugly Sidney Crosby is still playing. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with.
Quote unquote cute Sidney Crosby is also playing.
Sydney?
Sydney?
Tomorrow.
I know, here in Edmonton. And I might actually watch that because I'm kind of enjoying watching the Oilers, which is bizarre. What kind of world
Even the
is
last
this?
game?
Well, you know what? That first period, they held together.
They did.
Wait,
But
didn't they
you know what?
win?
They
Oh no, that was a
lost
few
3-0.
games ago.
They
Yeah.
lost 3-0, but I got to tell you, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's definitely better than it was last year.
Oh, that's a good sign.
They look like
You
they
had the
can
bar set pretty low.
really low. Yeah, I know, but you know, it's like up is down and down is up. I'm watching the Oilers and complaining about the Eskimos. What the hell is going on?
Maybe that's how Coach stays positive. His bar is set really low.
That must be. Okay.
You can just hop right over it.
Okay.
I am also going to go with the Lions because why would I choose the Riders?
Wonderful. I like that. You know what? That's the best reason to not pick them ever. Yeah.
Well, let's have a clean sweep on this one.
Ooh, I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, actually, and that's the best part is that they do play after the Calgary game, so Calgary still has something to play for because theoretically Saskatchewan could win, and then blah, blah, blah. But it's going to turn out they're going to win that game, and then Saskatchewan's going to lose the next one, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
All right. Gotta love that. Okay, works out pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. Last game is the epic series of Toronto and Montreal continuing on in their head-to-head battles. This one, of course, goes back into Montreal. Who do you got in that one, Kayla?
Does it matter?
No, but still, we still do a pick.
I don't know. Holy,
Yes.
ooh.
These are some interesting sounds.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of like grandma in a sweet shop.
Sounds.
My goodness.
They love me over there in Europe.
I hadn't thought of that before. Yeah.
Montreal, I don't know why, but that's just...
Because Montreal is your heart pick all year.
I spit it out, and that's what came out. Yeah, is Manziel even doing all right? I don't know.
He hasn't won a game yet.
No, he hasn't won a game yet, and supposedly there's an option. There's a chance that Pipkin starts this week.
Oh, hey, that's
funny.
Now you're happy.
Pipkin. We've been waiting for the return of a Pipkin.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony.
I prefer the Great Pipkin.
The Great Pipkin
For Halloween.
Yes, that's very good. Actually,
That's
at this
true.
particular moment. Superfan.
This is another tough one because, they're both powerhouses. And,
It's very true.
It's going to be an epic battle that we'll have bards singing about for generations to come.
I'm sure, yes.
Get out your harps.
This one's in Montreal.
Sure is.
And I just can't. I'm going to go with Toronto.
All right. Okay, that's fair.
I got you back, Mike.
Thank you.
Superfan, for my pick, I need you to cue the music.
Hey, it's Franklin.
Because I am picking the Toronto Argos and my boy James Franklin to
Damn it, they're
pull
gonna
it off
lose.
again.
I should change my pick.
Yeah, but too late. You said it. I'm going to pick the Toronto Argos to win that. Well, actually, Siri picked Toronto Argos to win, and I believe that James Franklin is going to lead them to victory once again.
And hold the record because he will pass Mr. Doug Flutie.
Yes, exactly, because he should score at least one, if not two, diving touchdowns in this game. So that'd be wonderful.
Is that actually a thing? Diving touchdown?
Well, rushing touchdowns.
Oh, okay.
Or by a quarterback.
Yeah, by a quarterback, it's like diving. Like they just kind of lean in, right? Like, not although James doesn't. A lot of times he'll run around the side and still get it. So because he's so fast.
Because he's so wonderful.
He's so wonderful, and he's so
oddly,
strong.
he takes
I
after
wish
a
he was
turtle.
ours.
I wish he was ours too. Wait,
Someday, maybe.
that jersey's so lonely on the wall. Yeah.
You need James to go with it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
For the glass case I have right in the corner for him. That's perfect. Yeah.
Well, this has been fun.
Yeah.
dear.
He's definitely coming back now, don't you think? I've really lined that up well. All right. All right, let's go with Toronto in that game. Let's go to fantasy leaders. In the fantasy pool, it is once again the Hell Caminos holds down the top spot. I moved up to 9th. You moved up to 24th.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
I'm 24th in both, really.
Yeah, well, it's, you know what?
Like a man.
You are consistent, superfan.
I'm something.
You are something.
I had a couple of good picks this last week. But,
Now, do you have any good ones for this week? Being that you had a couple last week,
let's pick all the Eskimos because they're not playing.
that's
Eskimo D is going to be shutting everyone out.
We're finally going to get points.
Yeah, this one again. Normally, it's whoever's playing Toronto or Montreal, but they're playing each other.
No,
Right.
yeah.
So
Pickle.
that's pretty tough. I don't know. Calgary and Winnipeg, I think is going to be some points scored there. I don't think there's going to be a ton of points scored by the Saskatchewan offense.
Well, that would be
So I'd probably
fairly
go with
consistent.
the BC defense in that case. Mm-hmm. I think that they, they're not going to have to worry too much about ugly Sidney Crosby.
no, not so much.
So I might pick him. I don't know. Posey had a great game, but I don't know if he's going to be able to repeat it.
Yeah.
So maybe I'd take Brian Burnham.
Oh, excellent. All right. Yeah, I was going to say Burnham or Posey. Maybe even he might not have jumped too high as far as price is concerned. So he may be an option. I think you want to look again at RJ Harris out of Ottawa as well, because he started to be that fourth guy, and that Hamilton defense had a hard time with him last week, so maybe it's a good time to pick him up or go one of the bigger guys off of Ottawa who didn't get the ball as much last week, and you might see them being targeted a bit more this week. So
that's true.
That's kind of where I would head with those. So
you need to go to like the hair eye, man. There's so many of them now.
The hair eye.
I was like,
Trevor,
no, that guy's
Andrew,
in Winnipeg. Oh,
RJ.
right, that's Andrew Harris.
Yeah.
Blah.
There's a lot of hair eye. Yeah.
You can join me in the void in fantasy. I never lose. I never win either. It's very safe.
It's very safe.
I
do both at the same time.
It's like you're in the Enchanted Forest all the time.
Smiles.
How's that for a callback?
That was excellent.
Thanks. I've been
Too bad
saving
you couldn't
that
do it
one
more
up.
like in a Mr. Rogers kind of voice.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Enchanted Forest.
To the Enchanted. Wow, that ding was perfectly timed.
Sorry.
Let's go to
Like, where was that from?
Yeah.
It was rubbing against my knee.
Where's the little trolley? Where's trolley? Ding ding. I hope the Eskimos are listening and realize what happens when they lose games. We break off into the finer points of the tickle trunk and comparing Mr. Rogers and Mr. Almost got a spit take out of that one. That was pretty good. You all right there, Kayla?
Yeah.
Well done. That's good. Oh, I like that. Okay, well, maybe they'll learn to win and then we won't have this problem.
We blame you.
Well, they're not losing this week.
That's true.
They're safe. They're also not winning.
Yeah.
Welcome to the void, gents.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what we're going to call it from now on. Void week instead of bye week. They're on void week. Yeah, where they can't do anything.
Well, that's kind of like last game anyway, so.
Just waiting for the from Mike. I knew it was going to be very, downer.
Excited.
Yeah, very excited.
They're there.
Eeyore.
All right. Well, the nice thing, without a game preview, this show was a lot shorter than usual. So
it is.
Sorry we didn't have as much to talk about this week. But we don't want to get into all of the negative that it could be. We want to wait and see what happens this weekend.
We still want Coach Vic to listen.
That's
exactly.
Right. So we'll get more into that. We'll see what happens this weekend, and then we'll see what kind of direction the show goes next week.
Oh, I have a question. How did Solomon Aluminum do?
He didn't play. Yeah, so he's scheduled to be back hopefully this week or next. So
okay.
He's getting very close, that's for sure, which only boosts their defense.
Solomon Aluminium.
Yeah, something like that. Is that the tinfoil hats again we're talking about? Okay, I'm just curious. Okay. All right, let's get some plugs out there. Commissioner, where does everybody find you on the Twitters and all those things?
At Duchess Lombardi.
Perfect. Super fan.
Super depressed at Esks fan.
Keep drinking the gin.
I'm out of gin. That's why I'm super depressed. You can find me at 56 Parkins.
Drinking Esks fan. That's the next one. Of course, you can find me at Freepalicious, the show at Esk Empire Pod. Thank you again to our sponsor, United Construction Company. Check out their website at unitedconstruction.ca. You down with UCC?
Yeah, you know me.
There we go. Make sure you find us on all of our social channels, which you can find all the links on eskempire.ca, including the blogs and pictures, etc., etc. And we will be back next week with either a game preview or the What's Next chat, depending on how this weekend's game goes. So are we hoping Calgary can get back to their winning ways?
Absolutely.
God, that's painful, but yes. For Commissioner Kayla and Superfan Mike, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.